Division of fractions. Let's look at the concept before we do an example. So let's say we are dividing 3 by a half. So we can read this as 3 divided by a half, and we can also read this as how many halves go into 3. So these are 3 wholes. So let's try to illustrate this with some diagrams. Pretending they are all the same size, this is our whole. We have 3 full wholes. Now the question is, how many halves go into these 3 wholes? That's the question. Well, first thing, we need to halve each one of these wholes. So half there, half here, and there. So now we check again. How many halves in the first whole? Well, there are 2 halves here. In the second whole, another 2 halves. And of course, another 2 halves here. So in total, we have 6 halves in 3 wholes. So if we were to do this calc, 3 divided by a half without these diagrams, let's see what we could learn from that example. We want the answer 6. How do we get 6 if we have 3 and we have a half? Well, actually, we could even look at that too. What do we know about 3 and 2? What do we do with these two to get 6? We multiply. So the idea is we are going to look, when we're looking at a division like this, we are going to look at the first number, the whole, staying as it is. We're going to multiply instead of divide, not by the half, but by the reciprocal of half, which is 2 over 1. Reciprocal is swapping top and bottom, and 2 over 1 is the same as 2. So that's what we are doing here. Then we get the 3 times 2, the 6 we wanted. So let's try now to do an example that is not straightforward, doing with the diagrams. How would we approach this one? Trying to use the same idea as before. The first fraction stays as it is. We change that divide into times, and we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So swap bottom and top. So now it's going to be 3 halves. So multiply the original fraction by the reciprocal of the second. So we could here now say, because it's multiplication, multiply across, and we would have 12 over 14. We would need to still simplify. So simplifying that, we have to check which numbers go into both. Well, we could halve them because they are both even numbers. So we have 6 over 7 as our final answer. If at this stage here you didn't want to multiply across, you wanted to first check if you could simplify, you would check, can you simplify 4 and 7? No, because 7 and 4 are not in the same family. Try another at bottom, 4 and 2. Yes, you can. So you could halve both. So this would look like 4, not 4, if we halve the 4, 2 over 7 times the original 3. Now how many 2's into 2's, or halving the 2? 1. And then we would be ready to multiply across. 2 times 3, 6, 7 times 1, 7, which gives us exactly the same answer.